migraine as well. So I get it, and I'm here to help you guys find the best yoga that will suit the unique needs and challenges of all of us with migraine. You can find me on social. My handle is Yoga Migraine on Facebook and Instagram, and I'm at yogamigraine.com. So today I'll introduce myself, share how yoga helps migraine, and what kinds of yoga are best for migraine, because there are so many different kinds and they don't all help migraine as well as we would like. And we'll finish out with a 45-minute chair yoga for migraine class. And this is intended to be accessible for all levels of mobility and fitness. And also it'll focus on our neck and upper back, which you know get very tense with living with migraine. So hi again, I'm Adriane Dellorco. I am a mother of two. I have a 2- and 7-year-old, and we live in Boise, Idaho. I've been living with migraine for 13 years, starting episodic and developed into chronic, and now with the right kinds of treatments, and also a more flexible lifestyle where I can take the time to have more self-care and less triggers in my life. I'm back down more to an episodic frequency. I'm a certified yoga teacher, and I actually discovered yoga when I was 13 years old and have been practicing a variety of styles since then. Before I developed migraine, I practiced a fairly vigorous, intense style that was often done in heated rooms and required a lot of strength and flexibility and stamina. And when I developed migraine, I realized it was no longer something first that I could even do physically, and it would often trigger, that intensity would trigger migraines. So it led me on a search for finding the right kind of styles that would not only be healing, but not be triggering for migraine. And so I now found some much more gentle, soothing styles that I will teach you about. And now I try to develop practices that are just customized to meet the needs of all of us with migraine. It's something that's recommended for people with migraine, but it's hard to find the right kind. I'm also a former public school teacher, and I've been teaching and performing dance for over 20 years. So there is some evidence clinically for yoga for migraine. The trouble is there's just very few studies. So the few studies that have been done have been positive and have shown significant decreases in headache intensity, frequency, medication use, depression, and anxiety symptoms. And there has been much greater research in general for yoga and meditation applied to other health conditions. So all of it is very promising, and there's just a need for more research. So from a personal level, I was really excited to hear Dawn Buse's talk yesterday on living well with migraine, because so much of the things that she touched on and suggestions are things or strategies that are inherent in yoga practice, and that can be really helpful for us. So yoga activates that relaxation response that Dawn talked about yesterday, primarily through the breath, by breathing exercises, and also just linking breath and movement together. In yoga, we learn to slow down and also to just give ourselves a little break from sensory inputs. So we close our eyes, we're in a quiet space, and all of those help to give our nervous system a chance to heal and relax. Our nervous systems, as people with migraine, tend to be on overdrive and are hypersensitive to stimuli. And for me personally, having multiple times to reset helps me become less likely to get triggered easily. Most of us with migraine also have a lot of neck and upper body, shoulder tension that gets exacerbated with migraine. And so the stretches that we'll do today are something that you can do anytime, especially since they're chair-based when you're just sitting at the computer for a while. I do multiple neck stretches throughout the day, and for me, it's kind of like a little pressure release valve that I'm constantly deflating that tension in my neck, so that it doesn't lead and escalate to a bigger migraine. At its heart, yoga is all about self-inquiry. So what that means is we learn to observe ourselves, observe our bodies, our emotions, our thoughts, and that leads us to become not only less reactive to outside triggers, but it helps us to navigate those ups and downs of emotions that come with living with migraine. So when you become more aware through practice of subtle changes that happen in your body, you can take more protective measures earlier so that you do not have to always escalate into a huge migraine when your system is completely overloaded. You can take maybe something that is less intense of a pharmaceutical. You can remove yourself from the environment. You can do some relaxing stretches. So once you notice those things earlier, you can downgrade your system more quickly. The emotional aspects of living with migraine for me often are more painful than the physical pain of migraine. And I found that one of the biggest pluses for me in practicing yoga is that I've had a much greater emotional stability in which I can observe my emotions. I can accept them. I know when I have a migraine, my mood is going to get more depressed, and that I kind of like don't take it personally. I don't let it like get me into a spiral into depression. I know that it can change. It's a symptom of my migraine. So having a little bit of that observational distance allows you to become less reactive, observe yourself without judgment, and accept all of our emotions. And finally, as people living with chronic pain, we almost get so used to living in pain that we forget what it feels like to feel good, or there's almost a fear of feeling good, because sometimes that does trigger migraine depending on what it is. But for me, yoga provides that safe oasis to feel good in my body, to have that deep sense of peace. I almost always feel better after a migraine practice a yoga practice. And so I'm hoping that after today's class, you will also experience some of that. So let's talk about what kinds of yoga are the best for migraine. There are dozens of styles of yoga, and they continue to evolve. But it is an ancient philosophy and way of living. And I'll share some of the safest modalities that I use when I teach yoga for migraine specifically. So if you're looking for classes, maybe once things open up in the world and you can go back to a yoga studio or are looking online, definitely anything that says gentle yoga is going to be a safe bet. These classes tend to be slower, don't require a high level of flexibility or strength, and you can have a lot of accommodations and modifications for the poses. Another one is called restorative yoga, and in this picture here, I am doing a restorative pose. Restorative yoga's goal is truly deep relaxation. So you cut into mostly poses in which you are lying down, supported with pillows, bolsters, or big blankets, and you are able to really relax into a soothing pose for 3 to 10 minutes. To me, it feels like a spa day meets yoga class. It's very little movement, it's a little more meditative, and it really lets my nervous system decompress. Restorative yoga is also great because it's something that you can do in bed when you are suffering from a migraine. And this next one, Yoga Nidra, is another fabulous style of yoga that is done completely lying down, in which you follow a guided relaxation and meditation. It means yoga sleep, and the goal of Yoga Nidra is to get you to that liminal space between wakefulness and sleep, and it's incredibly relaxing. I take my Yoga Nidra naps almost every day, and I don't always fall asleep. You can, but I find it even more relaxing than just a regular nap. And it really helps reset my nervous system midday. And that's definitely something that you can do in the midst of a migraine, because you just lay down and you listen to a calm, guided relaxation. Other ones that you can check out are yin yoga, which involve deep, long, slow stretches, and chair yoga, which we'll do today, which is suitable for many levels of mobility. Here's some styles that you might want to watch out for. Anything that says hot yoga or a Bikram style yoga are often done in classrooms that are heated over 100 degrees. And for most of us, heat definitely is a big trigger. Unless you already have a substantial, fitness level, you might want to work up to a power yoga class, which is kind of like a workout meets yoga. It takes a lot of strength and flexibility. And then vinyasa yoga is something that is kind of like an in-between, where that's a very popular style in most yoga studios. Vinyasa means a flow, where you're flowing from one movement to the next at a faster pace. And vinyasa is something that, if you've been practicing for a little while, you might feel comfortable with that kind of system. But you might not want to start there if this is your first time trying yoga. So in terms of what to watch for when you go to a yoga class, although many of us are not able to go to a studio anymore, I'll tell you what to watch for in a studio that could be triggering, and then what kind of yoga moves you might want to watch. So any studios that have heated classes or just overall is over 100 degrees, I would find a different studio. And similarly, if you're taking classes maybe in a gym or in a studio that really is like all about fitness and not so much yoga as a meditative practice, there can be loud music, there can be annoying fluorescent lighting. Some studios, people use incense or sage or essential oils, and just check it out before you attend the class and talk to the teacher about what might be in the class. And then just also be aware if crowds are triggering for you, to find some there's so many different kinds of studios, and there's definitely one that will match your needs. And the practice itself, probably the biggest thing that I've heard people mentioning that can be triggering in a yoga practice are inversions. And these are basically any kind of pose where your head is lower than your heart. So there are so many in yoga. It can be something simple as I stand up and then I fold forward and touch my toes. That's an inversion. Downward dog is an inversion, where your hands and feet are on the floor, hips are in the air. There's inversions where, like a plow pose, you lay flat and you bring your feet over your head. So there's a lot of different variety in intensity, and some people find the fast going up and down to be triggering. So if you're ever in a class, you can always opt out of these or just go a lot more slower if the teacher is kind of going on a roll. Also check out if the teacher is instructing you ever to like look up at the ceiling and that really doesn't feel good on your neck, or if there's a pose that is putting undue pressure on your neck. I would hope that any yoga class you attend, that the teacher makes it really welcoming and inviting for you to change any of the poses, to opt out of anything, and to listen to your body. And just be aware if you are getting overheated or overexerted in the class. I know for me that can be a trigger, and so you want to work up, to your fitness level, and like don't go 100%. Take it down. Do 50 to 75%, especially when you try a new form of movement. So my biggest thing I want you to know, and especially when we do our next class together, is just to listen to your body and to take things slow and gentle. If something doesn't feel good, opt out, change it, add a pillow, add a blanket, and feel free to make the practice your own in a way that feels good and works for you. So we will get started, but again, I would love to connect with you guys more on social. I have a public Facebook group at Yoga Migraine, excuse me, a public page. Then I have a private Facebook group, Yoga for Migraine, and we talk about self-care tips. I share free yoga videos, and also, if you are an Instagrammer, I'm loving getting to know the migraine community on there. So join me online and let us begin. I think we're about ready. Okay, great. So hopefully now everyone can see me. I'm gonna scooch back a little so you have a better view of what I'm doing. So grab your chair, blanket, yoga mat. Here we go. So let's come to the edge of your chair, feet flat on the floor, hands resting on the thighs. And you can gently close your eyes if that feels good, or even gaze down towards the floor. And just let the breath breathe itself in your body. No effort, just watching the breath. And notice if you can feel the breath at all in the belly. The most efficient way to activate that relaxation response is to lengthen the exhale longer than the inhale. So take some time on your exhale. Really allow all that air to be expressed, and then let that inhale happen naturally. Let's take one more deep exhale. And let's bring awareness to your physical body, observing where in your body you feel any level of discomfort, pain. Maybe there's a few places. And just welcome those spots and observe, is that a pulsing? Is that a sharp pain? How large is that pain? And now find a spot in your body that is comfortable, that feels at ease. And welcome those parts. Now bringing awareness to your internal emotions. Is there an emotion or two that you can recognize and name that you are experiencing at this moment? Is it nervousness? Is it excitement? Is it sadness? Fear? Just naming without any judgment. And now taking a look at the tempo of your thoughts. Are your thoughts moving quickly, rushed? Do they feel slow and lethargic? Somewhere in between. Let's take another breath in. And as you exhale, slowly flutter your eyes open if they were closed. And we'll begin with what's called in yoga cat and cow on our chair. So hands on the thighs, inhale, lift the chest towards your computer. Exhale, roll the spine, tuck the tailbone, look down. Inhale, arching the spine. Exhale, round the back, chin down. Inhale, lifting the heart, shoulders back. Exhale, round the spine, curl the tailbone under slightly. One more, inhale, lift the chest, arch the back. Exhale, round the spine. And inhale, coming back to a neutral position. Fingertips to the shoulders for some twists with the breath. Inhale, twist to the right. Exhaling, twist to the left. Shoulders stay down, inhale right. Exhale left. Feel free to go at your own pace if your breath doesn't match mine. Inhaling. Exhaling. You can bring your head along for the ride. Inhale. And on your next exhale here, hold that. Take a breath in. And exhaling, bring your hands down, one to your thigh, one to the side of the chair. And just enjoy that slight twist in the upper body. And now inhale, fingertips back to the shoulders. Take a breath in. Exhale now to your right. Reversing that breath. Inhaling left. Exhale right. Inhale to the left. Exhale right. Inhale left. Exhale right. Take another breath in here. Exhale, hands down, one to the thigh, one to the side of the chair. And relax into that twist. Inhaling, bring your fingertips back to the shoulders for some shoulder rolls. Inhale, draw the elbows together, up, and roll back and down. Inhale on the way up. Exhaling on the way down. Giving yourself a nice upper back massage here. Exhale down. Inhale up. And exhale down. Let's reverse that. So inhale towards the back, up. Exhale, elbows towards each other on the way down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhaling up. Exhaling. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. Wonderful. So still hopefully on towards the edge of your chair. Interlace your fingers. Push your hands away. Straight arms. And now lift those hands up to the sky. Now try drawing your shoulders up and then relax them down. We want those shoulders down. Shoulder blades in the back pockets. And let's do some nice side bends. Take a breath in. Exhale, lean over to the right. Inhale, center. Exhaling, left. Inhale. As you exhale, keep both shoulders back here without twisting. Exhale to the left. Inhale. See if you can keep those arms straight. Exhale, right. Inhale. Exhale to your left. Stretch out the side body. Inhale. Exhale, right. And now holding it here for a moment or two. And as you exhale, bring your left shoulder forward a couple inches. So you can find a new stretch here. Stretching out both shoulders. Good, now stack those shoulders back. Inhale it up. And exhale, one more to your left. Reaching both arms. You can always bring one hand down if the intensity is too much. And then roll that right shoulder blade forward, looking down slightly. Inhale, draw the right shoulder back. And back to center. Let it float back down. So we're going into our next series, which I highly recommend any of these stretches to do multiple times a day. So we'll scooch back a little bit so you're not having to be on the very edge of your seat. Take your left hand and hold the bottom of your chair. Take a breath in. Exhale, relax your right ear to the right shoulder. Keeping a nice straight arm in the left arm. The more you lean over, the deeper your stretch is. So for me, my migraines are always on my left and my neck tension is always on my left as well. So I encourage you, anytime you're sitting, try some of these out. Now draw your chin up an inch or two and gaze slightly at the ceiling. And now draw your chin forward towards the floor a few more inches just to find a new stretch. Roll your chin all the way to the center of your chest. Relax the grip of your chair and just relax your chin forward. Let's switch sides. Right hand holds the bottom of the chair and then roll your left ear to the left shoulder. Enjoying that deep stretch in the right side of the neck. The more you lean left, the deeper that stretch. Big release on your exhales. Bring your chin up a couple inches. Find a new stretch in the neck. And on your exhale, bring your chin towards the floor, a couple more inches. As you exhale, roll the chin all the way to the center of the chest. Release your grip on your chair and just let that chin melt down towards the chest, shoulders back and down. And we're going to flow right into some neck rolls. Rolling the right ear into the right shoulder. Lift on the way back. Exhaling now, left ear to left shoulder and chin to chest. Inhale on the way up. Lift on the way back. Exhale on the way down. So finding the size of the circle that feels best for you. Inhale, lift the chin. Exhale. Let's take one more circle in that direction. Inhale, lifting. And exhale, chin back to chest. And reversing now. So ear to the left, lift on the way back. Exhale, right ear to right shoulder, chin to chest. Anytime, you're welcome to change the pose or opt out. Find something that feels good in your body. One more to the left, inhale. And exhale, back down. Now take your right forearm to your forehead and just push your head back without any use of your neck. Next, I want to show you one of my favorite neck poses, neck stretches that I do countless times during the day. It's a little figure eight. You can imagine you're drawing an infinity sign with your nose on the wall in front of you. So you can kind of start going in an outward direction. And I find this really gets so many levels and directions in the neck. If you feel good with that movement, you can extend it a little more so your ears are the ones doing that figure eight motion. It's like a three-dimensional stretch here. Up and down and forward and back. If you feel dizzy at all, slow down or change it up. And let's all slow down now. Let your head settle. And let's reverse now. So other direction. Sometimes it feels kind of funny to get going the other way. So start with drawing that infinity sign with your nose. You can imagine my nose drawing inward, and then maybe expand to your ears, going into that figure eight motion. I often feel and hear a lot of little cracks and crackles, and maybe you do too. Releasing that pressure valve of tension in the neck. Let's slow it back down and bring your head back to center. Now let's expand that upper back a little bit more, and then we're going to go into a couple standing poses with the chair and then take it to the floor. So depending on your flexibility, you're going to scooch forward to the edge again and either hold the sides of your chair with your arms straight or the top of your chair, which requires a little bit more flexibility. So you choose what feels all right. Inhale, lifting the chest forward. Exhale, roll the shoulder blades down and towards each other. Inhale, reach that chest forward, heart open. Exhale, shoulder blades together, nice straight arms. Inhale, sending that heart and love energy to all other migraine people watching to feel better today. Exhale, shoulders together. And one more, lifting the chest, sending healing energy towards yourself. And release. And shake it out, roll it out if that feels good. Now let's actually scoot to the very back of your chair so you can feel the back against yours. Interlace your hands behind your head. We're going into our Hawaii beach pose. So all you get to do is lean back slightly to whatever amount feels good. This is a little back bend, opening up the heart. With this kind of move really helps with posture. You've been at the computer for a while, and it allows your lungs to have room to breathe deeply and truly relax. So you can imagine yourself at your favorite beach, listening to the ocean waves, definitely with an umbrella and sunglasses and a hat. Take another breath in, exhale, take it back to center. Wonderful, let's stand up, and I'm going to bring my chair to the back so you can see a little better. So for you guys, we're gonna face the back of the chair and do a pose called the waddle. Hands to the top of the chair and walk yourself back. I'm gonna angle my camera a little bit so you can see that better. Okay, so walk your feet back. So so that you have straight arms, your head is above your shoulders, not letting it droop, and ideally your feet are right under your hips. Feet hip distance, you can turn your toes out slightly and slightly lift those tail feathers in the back. You can just wiggle a little bit to find a spot that feels good, and keep the knees soft if you feel any stretch or tension in that low back. Take a breath in, and on your exhale, straighten the right leg, bending the left leg. Feel the stretch alongside the side right body. Inhale, bend both legs again. Exhale, back to the right, straighten the right side, bend the left leg. Feel that nice stretch along the right side. Back to center, one more on the right. Exhale, straighten the right leg. Stretch out the right side of the body. And inhale, come on back. Exhaling now on the left, straighten the left leg, bend the right, stretch the left side body. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, straighten the left, bend the right leg. Come on back. And last one. Straightening on exhale, left leg, stretch that left side. Inhale, come on back. And walking forward a little bit, this is where you can grab a blanket or towel if you have one close by, if the top of your chair is not super padded. We're gonna come into a relaxing forward fold onto the back of the chair. So just take one arm to the top of the chair, you can stack the other hand or just hug it in. Bring your forehead to your arm, and then walk your feet back so your hips are right over the feet. Knees are soft if your low back feels a little tender. And from here, just let your head relax. Forward folds are particularly soothing for me when I'm starting to get a migraine or in the midst of one. I feel like you can just retreat from the outside world, and that slight bit of soft pressure on the forehead is very relaxing for me. This kind of move can also be done when you're sitting on your desk and thinking about when you were in school and like everyone got in trouble and the teacher said, heads down on your desk. Well, that's a really good yoga practice when you are feeling overwhelmed, your senses and nervous system are needing a rest. The added bonus with this pose is you get a little bit of neck and back traction. Taking another breath here. And you can totally stay there if that feels nice. And if you want a deeper stretch, we're gonna remove that blanket, just let it droop. Hands now to the top of the chair. So you'll now need to walk yourself back even more. We are longer in the upper body. Feet right under the hips. And draw your ears in line with your upper arms. From here, knees soften as much as you'd like. Stretch your tailbone back, stretch the top of the head forward, and enjoy that big stretch in your spine. As you inhale, think of lengthening the spine, sit bones back. Exhaling, press the top of the chair with your hands. And that'll get a little deeper into the upper back. Inhale, stretching your head and forward, hips back. Exhale, press the top of the chair. Let's take one more here. Inhale, stretch yourself in both directions. And exhale, press the hands against the chair. And when you're ready, let's ever so slowly walk forward, keeping your chin down, and ever so slowly bringing your chin back up. For those of us with migraine, I really advise moving the head slowly when you come out of a pose. And just observe the effects of that one. And let's turn our chair around for our final two poses, which we'll take on the floor. So if you have your blanket or towel, you can bring it to the seat. We have many different options for what we're getting into. So the gist of it is that we're gonna relax our head forward on the seat of the chair. But what you do with your legs is up to you. So you can take simple cross-legged position. You can bring your feet together in a butterfly pose if you want a little more stretch in your hips. And we'll take one last option of bringing your legs straight. So maybe try each one, see how each one feels. I always like butterfly, so I'm gonna go with butterfly. Soles of the feet together, any amount. And taking a breath in, exhale, forward fold, forehead to the chair. And just letting your hands relax anywhere on the floor. If you need to, maybe you reposition your chair. If you want a deeper stretch, you'll come further out with the chair. If you want less of a stretch, bring it closer to you. Let's soften your forehead here. Let the eyeballs release in their sockets. Observing the breath coming in and out of the nostrils. Relax your cheeks. Let them hang heavy towards the floor. And slacken that jaw. Allowing the teeth to part. Tongue relaxes away from the roof of the mouth. Allowing the whole face to soften and release. Relaxing and releasing the scalp, back of the neck. Allowing your whole head to be supported against the chair. No effort required. Enjoy one more deep breath here. And as you exhale, walk your fingertips towards your hips as you so slowly straighten out the spine. Head is last to come up. And just observing how your body feels after a nice long forward fold. All right, guys, we're gonna come into our final relaxation pose with our feet on our chair. So there's a few ways you can come into it. One of the easier ways would be coming next to your chair instead of facing it, fingertips behind, and on your exhale, roll those feet up. Takes a little bit to get yourself in the best position, and then coming down your elbows and all the way flat. If you have your eye pillow or hand towel nearby, this is the time to gently place it on your eyes. And depending on your chair, maybe your feet come through, or if there's not room, you can draw them in front of the back of the chair and just scoot yourself. This is a great pose to do before bed or if you're feeling fatigued. Taking the next few moments to just readjust yourself any amount, maybe lifting the pelvis up and replacing it back on the ground, just to find the most comfortable position you can here. Giving yourself permission to keep readjusting until you found just the juiciest spot to let go. And I'm going to be leading you through a guided, relaxing meditation. So finding that breath again. Notice your body being breathed without any effort. And now, finding the soles of the feet, bringing healing breath from the soles of your feet up to the crown of the head. Inhale. And as you exhale, flood your whole body with healing energy down to your toes. Inhale up from toes to the crown of the head. Exhale down to the knees. Healing, supportive energy. Inhale, knees to the crown of the head. Exhale, energy down to the tip of the tailbone. Inhale, tailbone to the crown of your head. Exhale, down to the pelvis. Flushing your whole body as you inhale from the pelvis to the crown of your head, flushing with healing, supportive energy. Exhale now down to your navel. Inhale, navel comes up towards the crown of your head. Exhale down to the solar plexus, right at the bottom of the rib cage. Inhaling, rib cage to the crown of your head. Exhale, healing energy down to your heart center. Inhale, heart center to the crown of your head. Exhale, down to your throat. Inhale, throat to the crown of the head. Exhale, crown of the head to the space between your brows. Inhale, third eye center between the brows up to the crown. And one huge exhale, sending healing, supportive energy throughout your whole body, back down to the soles of the feet. And just relax your awareness. Feeling your body resting and resetting. Now bring your awareness to your upper body laying on the ground and observe that heaviness in the upper body. Feel like you could just sink all the way through the ground. Feeling that weight against the earth. And now observing the lightness in your legs and feet. As though your legs and feet could just float away like a bubble. And now observe the lightness of the lower body and the heaviness of the upper body together at the same time. And relax your observations. And just feel your body. And now bringing awareness to a spot in your body that feels uncomfortable, where you feel some tension or pain. Observing that area, noticing its size, noticing how pulsing or how sharp that discomfort is. And now bring your awareness to a place in your body that feels super comfortable, completely relaxed and at ease. Noticing what that feels like. How does that openness feel? How does that relaxation feel? And now bring your awareness to both that uncomfortable spot in your body and that comfortable, relaxed spot. Bring your awareness to the discomfort and the comfort at the same time. And relax your awareness. Feel your body being breathed. Bringing your awareness to your body lying in the room that you're in. Listening for any sounds in the distance, outside or inside where you are. Begin to rub your fingertips together. Wiggle those toes. Take a breath in, and as you're ready, on your exhale, slowly, ever so slowly, roll to your side. Knees bent, removing that eye pillow if you have one. And just resting on your side for another breath. As you're ready, push your hands onto the floor to push yourself back up. And coming back into a seated position, either on your mat or on your back on your chair, whatever's more comfortable. And we'll finish out with that check-in that we started at the beginning of our class. Closing eyes or gazing down. And notice that uncomfortable, tense, or painful place that you identified at the beginning of class. Has that pain changed at all since practicing? Maybe it's moved. Maybe it feels more spacious. Maybe it hasn't changed at all. And now, looking at your emotions. Is there an emotion you can identify now? Maybe it's different or the same from how you felt 45 minutes ago. And now looking at your thoughts. Are they faster or slower than when you first checked in the beginning of our practice? Let's bring our hands to our heart. Thank you all so much for trying yoga for migraine with me. May you have many moments throughout these long days at home to connect with your mind and body and spirit in a healing way, and that we share that openness with all the people we interact with. Namaste.